Welcome back to Berry Life, bringing you easy and delicious vegan and vegetarian recipes from around the world. Today we're making one of our favorite stir fries, vegan beef and broccoli. A vegan take on the classic Chinese takeout, packed with protein, nutrients, and a ton of flavor. It's made in minutes with just a few ingredients. So let's get started. As always, we start with prep, starting with 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. We'll slice them thinly to keep the flavor light. If you prefer a stronger garlicky flavor, go ahead and mince it. The smaller the pieces, the more intense the flavor is released into the recipe. Garlic has been used in Chinese cuisine for thousands of years. It's also used in medicine for its antiviral and antifungal properties, and it helps boost the immune system. Next, we have some shiitake mushrooms. We'll give them a quick wipe down with a damp paper towel. These are really fresh, but if they had more dirt, we'd just run them under water and clean them out. There's stigma around washing mushrooms in water, as they can waterlog. However, for our purposes, we'll use the mushrooms right away, so it shouldn't be a problem. Then we'll remove the stems. Don't throw these away. They're a bit chewy, but they still have a lot of flavor. We usually save them and use them to make a vegetable stock, or we dehydrate them if we're not going to use them right away. We'll go ahead and slice these into thin strips, about 1/4 of an inch thick. The strips blend well in the final product. Check out how fresh these mushrooms are. No discoloration or spots in the cross section. These are perfect. We'll slice through the rest and set those aside. There are actually several types of shiitake mushrooms, varying in aroma, flavor, and texture. Check out our blog at Berry Life for more information. Do you know what kind of a car a mushroom drives? A sports car. Next, we have a head of broccoli, our hulked out cousin to the cauliflower. For this recipe, we want florets, so we'll cut them just below the head. In China, traditionally this recipe is and was made with Chinese broccoli, or gailan, and it's called gailan chow niu ru. However, when the Chinese immigrants arrived to America in the 19th century, gailan was not available, so they opted for the Italian style of broccoli instead. It started becoming available in public in the 1920s, and it's been a staple of the American Chinese restaurant menu since the 1950s. We'll save the stems and use them in a different recipe, or in a stock base. Now we'll transfer the florets into our handy dandy salad spinner, and give them a rinse. Then a few turns in the tumbler should get rid of that excess water. For this recipe, we want to make sure the broccoli is as dry as possible when adding it to the wok. If we leave the water in place, it will turn to steam very quickly and cook the broccoli more than what we desire. If you don't have a salad spinner, you can also pat dry with a kitchen towel. This is a small but important step. Check out how dry this is. That's it, we're done with prep. For our vegan protein component, we actually have 2 options here today. There's a brand called Beyond Steak. It's part of Beyond Meat. These are plant-based strips made of vital wheat gluten, the primary protein in wheat. We also have this vegan beef. On the packaging it says seitan, another name for vital wheat protein. It's seasoned and vacuum sealed to lock in the flavors. When you open it, you just have to pull it apart and separate the curls. Today we'll use the Beyond Steak, as it's likely more readily available. We keep this in the freezer, and it doesn't need to be defrosted before cooking. We're not sponsored by either companies. This is just what we've used and wanted to share with you. For our stir-fry sauce, we'll start with a tablespoon of cornstarch. Next, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. This sauce is meant to be more savory than sweet, so you can adjust the sugar content as needed, along with 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce. You can also use low sodium soy sauce if you're watching your salt intake. Next, 1 teaspoon of black vinegar. It adds a complex tangy brightness we'd definitely miss if we didn't add it. As well as 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, adding another layer of savory complexity. If you don't have Shaoxing wine, you can replace it with sherry. Next, some freshly ground black pepper. Lastly, 2 tablespoons of water. This is going to be a relatively light sauce compared to others. We'll give it a whisk and do a taste test. We'll go ahead and add a little bit more sugar to round out the flavor. As always, make these recipes your own by adjusting the ingredients to your preference. With all the prep done, we can head to the wok. We'll start by heating the wok over medium-low heat. We'll add 1 teaspoon of oil, and to it, add the mushroom slices. Usually we saute the mushrooms without oil for a firmer texture as well as a more intense flavor. However, adding a tiny bit of oil helps to keep the mushrooms tender. Along with a bit of salt and black pepper to taste. This helps to season and extract moisture from the mushrooms. It's important that each ingredient is properly cooked and seasoned in a stir fry, and saute until lightly golden. The reason we're adding salt instead of soy sauce is because the mushrooms are already bursting with natural umami flavor, and because we want to preserve the lighter color of these mushrooms. They should look something like this. We'll transfer them to a bowl and set them aside. Keeping the wok on medium-low heat, we'll add another teaspoon of oil. And to it, we'll add the vegan protein. These are directly out of the freezer, and you don't need to thaw these. Love that sizzle. Along with 1 tablespoon of soy sauce for seasoning, and some ground black pepper. We also add a pinch of sugar. With all the savory elements, this really helps to round out the flavor just ever so slightly. It'll also help with caramelization, as we want to get a nice sear on these, like this. From our experience, Asian cooking is all about balancing the spicy, tangy, sweet, spicy, and savory flavors. This is what we're going for. That's it. Now we'll transfer these to a bowl and set it aside. Now back to the wok for a third time. We'll add a teaspoon of oil, along with our garlic slices. We'll saute for about 30 seconds until lightly golden. Then we'll add our broccoli florets and saute for another 30 to 60 seconds. The heat will soften the broccoli ever so slightly and bring out its beautiful green color. If your broccoli florets are larger, feel free to cut them down to size. Now we'll push the broccoli to the sides of the wok and make some space in the middle. Then pour in our stir-fry sauce, whisking to collect the cornstarch at the bottom. We'll turn up the heat a little and stir to allow the sauce to thicken with that cornstarch. Just wanted to say thank you for all the love and support. Your words of encouragement keeps us motivated. Be on the lookout for more healthy and delicious recipes coming soon. This looks good. Now we'll add our vegan protein and sauteed mushrooms back to the wok. Then we'll stir to make sure all the ingredients are evenly coated in the sauce. Check out the full recipe in the video description box below, or on our website at berryberrylife.com. Perfect. Now we'll just add a bit of sesame seeds for a little crunch. That's it. Our vegan beef and broccoli stir fry is done. Today we're enjoying the vegan beef and broccoli with steamed jasmine rice. Seriously though, do yourself a favor and make this on the weekend and let us know in the comments how it goes. Then we'll top it off with a bit more sesame seeds. Now a plate for the wifey. Berry Berry Life is truly a team effort, that team being my wife and I. There is a surprising amount of work that goes into making these recipe videos, so we share the responsibilities equally. She handles the research, planning, directing, photography, and social media, while I do the cooking, editing, and voiceover. We're so incredibly blessed and grateful to share this experience. There you have it, vegan beef and broccoli stir fry. A taste of China in the comfort of your own home. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more great content. We upload recipes every week and you don't want to miss out. If you like this recipe, let us know in the comments below. Also, check out the video description for the full written recipe. Thank you for watching. Enjoy!